This is Domini, aka Sleepy from Espresso Mutt, and today I'm going to be going over a gameplay test involving touchpad puzzles. When I was first trying to decide what sort of puzzles to experiment with, touchpads was actually one of the first things that came to mind, just because it's a common thing in games to have to go to a computer and put something in, or go to a typewriter and put something in. I do find that while you can technically do a drop-down menu and just have players choose out the appropriate words, I am somewhat fond of having players have to actually go in and manually type it themselves, just because it feels a bit more interactive. So with this puzzle, I did a simple 4-digit touchpad, and it is fairly simple from a gameplay perspective. All you're doing is hitting buttons. However, from a programming perspective, you have to keep in mind things like keeping track of how many buttons are people pressing, making sure it resets every time the player gets it wrong, and you also have to keep in mind the correct sequence of numbers. So for here, all I did is 1, 2, 3, 4, but if you hit those numbers in the wrong order, it's not going to click. For the second puzzle, things become more complex because instead of numbers, you have letters, and while you still put digits, you have to translate a code to figure out what's the right sequence. So for here, it's 753379. As a cue to the player, this actually resembles a touchpad you would see on a phone. So if you think of it that way, 7 is actually going to resemble PQRS, 5 will resemble JKL, and if you follow through to the end, you're going to get the code Sleepy. One thing worth keeping in mind is, I really didn't do that much different from the previous puzzle. The coding and the variables is largely the same, but what I did do was I changed the context to create a different sort of puzzle. This gives you a bit more freedom because it means that in one room you can use a code to create like a general touchpad, but in another room you can create a keyboard where you have to type out the correct message to clear it through the computer. And that's just some of the touchpad puzzles we've been looking at so far. For our next video we'll be looking at either the broken puzzle or the tumbler locks. Until then, thank you for watching, feel free to leave a comment below or like or share us. Thank you!